We're at the Players Lounge at Jumpman LA with a guy who needs no introduction, but I'll try. 10-time NBA All-Star, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 19-year NBA veteran, but also, even more rare than that, been signed to the same sneaker brand for 19 years.
Facts.
Carmelo Anthony, thanks for joining us.
Nice to meet you, bro. Thank you.
So 19 years, how has your relationship with Jordan Brand evolved over those years, and what role did the brand play in your journey?
Well, that's where it started. I mean, in 2003, just kind of being one of the first, or if the first signature athlete under the brand. So having that experience, going from being 19 years old, going through this experience of growth and figuring out the business side of the brand and how it operates, how it works, but also the creative side of it too. So just kind of having that platform and somewhere where I can design and create and be able to tell a story, my connection with the brand, and it's a beautiful story though. To be with one brand for 19 years, your whole career is special.
Moving on to the 36, before we get into these colorways, which I'm excited to talk about, we know that when you're performing at a high level, performance and comfort mean everything. How does the 36 help elevate your game?
It's very light. It's light as hell, I can tell you that. A lot of shoes you put on, they might be, I want to say they might not move with your foot, or they do move with your foot, with your feet. This one in particular, man, is very dynamic. You can just look at it and see that the design is dynamic, but also the comfort of it is very dynamic too. Being able to, adjust to your feet, mold to your feet, the breathability within the shoe, but also, the forward thinking in the design as well.
I have to ask, has it given you a little bit of lift on your famous bleep out of here, I got it rebounds?
It's bouncy. No, it's bouncy though. It's definitely a bouncy shoe. It helps you quick off the ground. Movement is quicker. Because again, it's just once it's locked, it locks your feet in, so it's moving right with you.
Yeah. Onto the shoes now. You've been designing with the brand for almost 2 decades when it comes to signature shoes, player editions, some of your own retros, and you've worked with your stylist, Kalila Beavers, as well as the Jordan Brand design team to design all of these. What's that collaboration process like?
Me and Kalila, we're both from Baltimore. So we had that connection already. And we wanted to just give an ode back to the city and things that we both like, things that we are known for back in Baltimore. And, the Old Bay seasoning box and the Maryland crab is one of our staples.
We'll get to that one in a second. I want to start with, let's call it chapter 1. It's also chapter 1 of your book, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, the Red Hook colorway. What does that shoe mean to you?
Well, that's where it started. That's where everything was created. That's where everything was started. That's where, I had my dreams and hopes of basketball or whatever was going to happen. But that's when I first started to, fall in love with the game at a young age. So that's where Red Hook is where it started at.
The second colorway that I want to talk about is probably obvious if you're from New York, but if you're not from New York, you might need a little bit of an explanation. You see the apple right here, but what is this Meadowland colorway? What's the inspiration behind it?
That one is, it's the concrete jungle, man. It's, if I can remember, man, it was an ode to, I think we was doing a boot, man. It's one of the Timberlands or the Beef and Broccolis or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're not from New York, man, you're not going to really understand that. But you don't even have to be from New York, because I think that one is very high in luxury, and it just looked luxurious, and the fabrics and the textures in it. But it just looked something different. I haven't seen that colorway before.
It kind of reminds me of your Air Jordan 20 collaboration. You had that green colorway with Rag and Bone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the green was always there. It was just a matter of how you want to play with that green.
The next one is one of your most famous personas, where the Hoodie Mellow was born, the Black Ops colorway. What's the inspiration behind that?
Well, the Black Ops is the mindset. That's the intimacy of being able to lock in and focus. We started the Black Ops runs back in New York. I started my own Black Ops program out of that, and with that same mindset and keeping that same DNA within the whole program. So, it was only right for us to do an ode to that.
And now moving on to, let's call it the wine selection over here. We know you're a big fan of wine. You have your show, What's in Your Glass. Let's start off with the Cork Mellow. What was the inspiration behind that, or how deep can you go into that one?
Well, last year we did the we did the red wines, I think 35s.
Yep.
And it was reversed. You know, the cork was the insole. This time we wanted to just reverse it and, you know, use the cork as the main basis of the shoe. So just flip it inside out a little bit, but it's still, you know, as you can see that red wine, you gotta have it.
What about the next one?
The next one is the rosé of the of the actual red wine lineage. You know, I love rosé. Women love rosé, so I'm sure they're gonna. Hopefully, they would enjoy those right there, the rosés. So.
Yeah, and then I think we got the Carmelos, the Merlot Colorway here.
Yeah, well, we had the Merlot Colorway. I just wanted to play with all the different type of grapes that was in the wine family. And this is what we came up with.
Yeah, and the last one is a colorway that any sneakerhead is gonna recognize.
The Bordeaux?
The Bordeaux. What made you want to do that on this one?
Well, it was only right if you're doing red wine, Bordeaux. You know, aside from the actual colorway of it, Bordeaux is one of my favorite regions of wine. So all roads lead to the Bordeaux.
Well, we alluded to earlier about designing with the brand. On a shoe like this, not only are you honoring the past with such an iconic colorway, but you're also inking your name into the next chapter of growing that colorway on such a revolutionary shoe like the 36. What does it feel like to be doing that? You're honoring it, but at the same time, you're building history for this brand as well.
I mean, I think that's what you know what life is about. You know, you have to honor the past, but also, you know, look forward to the future. And I think that's what we did with the actual Bordeaux. Honestly, I haven't seen the Bordeaux colorway in any other shoe other than the original. So for me to have that, and then also with the story, the way that the story comes together, having the three wine colorways, and then the region where it actually comes from, it's still playing off of red wine in the Bordeaux region, but also within the Jordan brand, you're still giving the old back to the Bordeaux colorway.
Yeah, and then lastly, I want to talk about this one. I mean, the packaging in this one, this is crazy, but the Baltimore Crab, how did this one come to life?
This one was easy. The Baltimore Crab was easy. It was just something, you know, I usually do like a Baltimore Raven color or an Oreo color, but this one was just like, this is what we're known for. You know, we're known for crabs and Old Bay seasoning, and this is what it is. So we have so many, after 19 years, you have so many kind of different things that you can pay, you know, tribute to. In championship of Syracuse, Olympian, like you said earlier, All-Star. But I think what gets people is the actual, you know, color combination of this box. The packaging was phenomenal, so we did a great job with that. But also, I never, like this colorway, like the blue with the orange, you know, the burnt orange, the brown suede, it's a crab. You know what I'm saying? So if you're from Baltimore, then you understand how important this is to us.
Yeah, well, that's just a sneak peek of some of the player editions you're gonna rock this season. Maybe we'll see this one in the tunnel?
For sure. You'll see this in the tunnel for sure.
I want to shift gears to basketball, man. We're here in LA after years and years of battling the Los Angeles Lakers. Some epic battles, man. We have the Western Conference Finals against Kobe back in the day. And as a Laker fan, you know, my whole life, we've seen photoshops of you in Laker jerseys through all the years. But what does it feel like now to finally be a part of the purple and gold?
It's like a full circle. For so long, I've always been connected with the Lakers for some reason, whether playing against them, friendship with Kobe. It was just always there, or me having the opportunity to come here in free agency one of those years. So it's just, I was tied into it, but now it's like, this is the time when I needed to come here. At this point in my career, what we're trying to accomplish with the team that we have, it was perfect timing.
Man, that crowd reaction the last two games when you clocked in, feeling the home crowd embrace you like that, what does that feel like? I know you're dialed into the game, but to hear your new home audience just lose their minds when you check in.
It's a great feeling, man. I can't sit here and say that, I don't want to downplay it. It's a one hell of a feeling, especially knowing the history that I have against the Lakers. So, coming here and them cheering for me as opposed to booing, and yelling and screaming and cursing, I'd rather have them on my side than against me.
That's the ultimate respect from them. And lastly, you took some time to talk to us about sneakers today, but you're really here for Upstairs, the Best in the West game. We're seeing some absolutely phenomenal basketball players. You're going to be guest coaching for a little bit. Hard game last night, game tomorrow. Probably had practice this morning.
We did.
For you, it feels like giving back, community work. There's no off season. You're committed to that year round. And that was kind of cemented recently when you were the first ever recipient of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar NBA Social Justice Award. Out of all of the awards you've ever won, what did that award mean to you?
That's top of the list. I mean, that's bigger than any championship I could ever win or won any gold medal that I've ever won. That's the top of the list because that don't have anything to do with basketball. That has everything to do with me as a person, me as a human being, the way I think, you know, how big my heart is that's what that comes from, and the willingness to do what I have to do to help others. That's all that is.
For sure. I know there's some kids up there that are waiting to see you, put some smile on their faces. So thank you for taking some time.
Absolutely, my brother. Thank you.
Can't wait to see these on court. Appreciate you.
Indeed. Thank you.